Today we will begin Chapter 3. When I do my face-to-face class, we have our quiz at the beginning of this class. You can just pass on by that quiz. Note you should have taken your quiz online. Again, the quiz is available under the nav bar under quizzes. You have one opportunity and 30 minutes to take your quiz. It's open note, so good luck on that quiz. It will be automatically graded and your grade imported into your grade book, so you can check out how you did immediately after taking. Today's quote of the day is, "Intelligence without ambition is a bird without wings." Kind of a deep quote there, but if you think about your intellect, if you have all this intellect, but you have no desire, no heart, you don't put forth much effort, you might as well be that bird that has no wings that can't fly. Because you will never fly, you will never soar without ambition, regardless of the amount of intellect that you have. This is a great video if you've ever seen the movie Pursuit of Happiness. It's based on a true story, and just watching all of his hard work pay off. Every time I watch it, I cry because it just overcomes me with just the mindset of hard work truly does pay off, and you can make your dreams reality if you're willing to be ambitious and use the talents that you have been given. So great little video, and the question that I pose is, are you pursuing your own happiness? In my face-to-face class, they had to write their top 3 dreams and circle their number 1 dream, and then I asked them, what are they doing on a daily basis to pursue that dream? I challenge you to utilize the case study on page 92 and 93 for this week. There are 8 professors in the case study, and based on your experience, you're going to rank these. And it just gets you thinking outside the box and exploring different types of mindset. So I encourage you to do the case study on page 92 and 93. 6 actions to take to achieve success and fulfillment. And why is each impactful? Well, if you think about your life, number 1, you have to gain clarity. You have to know what you want. You have to take time to really think about what you want for your life. So take that time to be clear and have that clarity. Number 2, transform desperation into inspiration. I always say the success is achieved when you're being held underwater and you need to breathe and you're gasping for air, and that's when you will fight your brains out to be given that next breath. The same thing it can be said about your life. You have to be desperate to achieve and be willing to go above and beyond to be inspired and to achieve those goals. Number 3, you got to enforce boundaries. Sometimes you have to say no, and you have to have a clear definition of what you want to do and know where you want to go, so that you don't let outside forces get in the way of your personal success. You have to commit yourself 1,000%. I know 1,000% is kind of overrated, but at least 100%. You got to know what you want, and every day you have to be pushing towards those goals. One of the most important skills that you can have in life is communication. They found in studies that those who communicate well are extremely successful. Businesses want great communicators. I'm constantly either communicating through emails or speaking to my class, my team. And if I'm a poor communicator of the expectations that I have, my team isn't going to be successful. If I don't clearly delineate what I'm trying to teach in class, my students won't be successful. And then if I can't communicate with my colleagues regarding our programs and the expectation of the department, we as a whole cannot be successful. So really, communication is such a powerful tool that we need to utilize wisely. And then finally, number 6 here, nurture empowered relationships. We have a lot of relationships probably in our life that aren't all that valuable and maybe wasted time. And I encourage you to nurture those relationships that are impactful and that make a difference on a day-to-day basis, whether they're professional or whether they are those that you love that are dear to you, maybe your family members. But those are, if you look at those 6 things, those truly can help you find success, find fulfillment, and really give you some guidance and clarity in life. So a great equation, and we'll talk about this in just a moment, but motivation, it's the number one barrier for the lack of student success. So if you're not very motivated, you're going to fail in school. That's what they have found. Studies have found that. We're going to talk about that on our next slide here, actually the same slide, but when I click, you will see that pop up. Number one barrier for student success is lack of motivation. So how do we be motivated? How can we be successful in the classroom? You have to have this value for your education. So your personal value for education, if you put a number on it from 0 to 10, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, that's one component of this motivation scale. Then the expectation. And the expectation is those near to you. What is their expectation level for your success? For me, my mother expected me to graduate from college. So I had a high value, personal value on my education. I had a 10. And then my parents had a high expectation level for my success in college. So I also had about a 10 there. And together that's 100% motivation. So there was no way that I would allow myself to fail at the college level. Some of us have a lower value on education, or have parents that maybe have never gone to college or don't really see the value or necessity in it. And you'll find that maybe those individuals are less motivated to succeed at the college level. So remember that equation, value times expectation equals motivation. So here are some signs of poor motivation. You come to class late, or maybe you don't sign into your online classes. You turn in assignments late. You always have an excuse why you have it turned in late, or you don't turn it in at all. Your work is sloppy. You just rush through it to get it done. You have missed assignments. You're ignoring offered help from your instructors, and then ultimately it leads maybe to you withdrawing from school. Some interesting facts. A third of students that are in the four-year school will fail to return for a second year of college. So that's in the four-year school. And then it gets even worse as you look at the two-year schools, because typically the traditional student at the two-year level has a lot going on. They're usually working, maybe they're a returning adult. So there's a lot of factors. Maybe finances are also a factor in the equation as well. So half of students at a two-year school fail to return for their second year. So we really need to key in on what motivates students so that we can ensure your success and your continued efforts to achieve your academic goals. This again goes on how you calculate your own personal motivation, and I encourage you to take the time to calculate that. The value is based on your culture, upbringing, and life experiences. And then expectation is how good a student are you and how strong is your previous education. Those things can weigh into that. And what you'll find is this is a dependent variable. So as your expectation level rises and your value of education rises, so does your motivation. Characteristics of motivated DSC students and students in general. You attend class the whole time, complete work on time. And you can read through these, read instructors' feedback and comments, not just look at what your grade is. Manage your priorities, have goals, policies, resources. The list goes on and on here. But I want you to key into the fact that you're making an investment. You're investing in your future. If you look at, okay, I got to put in all this time, I got to put in all this effort, I even have to pay for my college, this will come back full circle. It will pay off. If you have your high school diploma, in your lifetime, you'll make an average salary of about $1.2 million. Now, if I told you you could have $400,000, $0.4 million right now, would you take it? Of course you would. A 2-year degree will give you $0.4 more million than just your high school diploma. And then if you look at your 4-year degree, so it's not enough just to get that 2-year degree. You need to get that 4-year degree. And that puts you almost $1 million ahead of that student that just has their high school diploma. 6 out of every 10 career positions now require some post-secondary education. And then you'll see these additional benefits, high savings levels, improved health and life expectancy. I talk about this all the time. My brother works, he didn't get his college degree, dropped out. And my brother works in this factory, and he actually makes more money than me, but his job is so hard. He has actually lost the tip of his finger. He is working third shift, which is a hard shift for your health, and it can be said that, long term, this is going to pay a major toll on his body. Whereas I have my college degree, I get to pursue something I love and I'm passionate about every day. And I can't help but think that this is adversely affecting my health in a positive way, where his job, being in this factory in maybe unsafe conditions, is having a negative long-term effect on his life. So something to keep in mind as you're pursuing your education. Additional benefits of your education: you have increased personal status, you have the opportunity and more time and typically more financial means to pursue your hobbies and your leisure activities, and then essentially increased personal and professional mobility. You can move between jobs a little bit easier because you have your degrees, and you can also transfer all over the country because you have an education. So you improve your opportunities on many levels, not just on your earning power. And then the college experience, embracing the overall college experience is important to retention and matriculation. The college experience may include going to college athletic games, attending the movies on the campus, belonging to a fraternity. Now, we don't have fraternities here, but becoming part of SGA, going out dancing with maybe some of your classmates, going out in general, playing video games, hanging out with your classmates as well. Now, this being an online class, I could probably say this is going to be a bit more challenging for you to meet those tasks, but I encourage you to become more intertwined with your college and try to put yourself out there a little bit more, because that connection helps you keep coming back. Value isn't found only in outcomes, it's also found in experiences. When college experiences are done in moderation, now if you do too much of those college experiences, you're going to pay for it on the back end with your grades and your success rate. But if you do these college experiences in moderation, these experiences can contribute greatly to your academic motivation and your drive to continue on and persevere. And it's also in creating relationships with your classmates and working through this together, so you have like a team to work with, rather than feel alone in the process. When these experiences are done in excess, obviously they can hinder your desired outcome. So moderation is the key. That wraps up the beginning of Chapter 3. Please let me know if you have any questions this week. Best of luck. Have a wonderful week, and always pursue your goals and dreams with enthusiasm in your pursuit of happiness.